Hey, y'all, I want to welcome y'all to the first episode of the Presidential Executive, featuring myself and my guy over here, Rag,
I
as
guess
I
I was
call
supposed
him.
to say something.
Yeah, Rag, I call him,
Yeah.
but we know wherever he want to present himself
Yeah.
as,
So I mean, basically, just to put y'all on it, anybody who knows me know, one of my catchphrases is "Keep it presidential." I'm always presidential,
for sure.
presidentially yours. Matter of fact, even had a song back in the day to keep it presidential.
Bow,
Right. Exactly.
bow. Yeah.
And so, and JB has always been like, the executive. Like if you watch the X Files, he's like the man in black. The man behind the scenes. Like he's got all the moves. Um, Kind of like Bruce Willis in The Expendables. Like he's that guy that just he got the direction, the playbook, the game plan on how to make it work. No, he's not a 49ers fan, but he's like a Kyle Shanahan. Is just like, you know what I'm saying? He has so many different ways to get things done. And so
Right.
he's just like an executive, you know what I'm saying? He makes things happen.
Yeah, I
You
think
know.
they see who I'm with. I think they can see the view of, they see the star, they see Zeke. So
I
we.
believe he lost a bet on it, but
Yeah. Hey,
the jury's still out.
it happens, it happens sometimes, but that's just what it do. But yeah, this is my guy over here, man. We've been knowing each other for a long time. Maybe someday we'll get into, all that stuff. But
Almost 20 years.
yeah, exactly. It is 2020. Yeah. So, we got a lot of stuff we can get into, man. Personally, I think it just happened. What, game 2 just happened? I think of the NBA Finals. Trash.
Worst finals ever.
It's trash. And, you see my stuff on Facebook sometimes.
I do.
I'm known, people as a
I
LeBron hater.
disagree with your
As a LeBron
Scottie
hater.
Pippen take on Twitter, but that's another conversation for another day.
Okay, we'll talk about that. I don't
That's
remember.
another, I was like,
Okay. We'll get into
Pip
that.
is my guy. So
Yeah,
like,
that is your guy. That's your guy.
and I'm a Bulls fan, die hard.
Yeah, and I'm looked at as a LeBron hater, but you remember, man, like I used to get all these high school magazines. Like I followed LeBron since he was a sophomore in high school. Like that, I did. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? If this was like First Take or Skip and Shannon,
Yeah,
First Things First, I believe it's called.
Nick Wright.
Oh no! So what is Skip and Shannon?
That's undisputed.
Undisputed. Is
It's
Skip and Shannon,
undisputed.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
Undisputed. My bad.
Yeah,
Like we're not disagreeing on this point. I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
because we both used to be Bronsexuals.
yeah.
So I still got the Slam magazine with him and Sebastian Telfair on the cover.
I think I do too. Now, the only thing where I jump off is just the Jordan thing. Like I don't deny that he's great. I don't deny that he's Magic 2.0, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? But
I even do you one better. If you took the best parts of Magic and took the best parts of Scottie Pippen and put them in one player, that would be LeBron.
I agree. Yeah. It's just, my thing.
With Sean Kemp's explosion.
True.
Because when people say you've never seen a 6'9" guy go to the rack like that, like, y'all must didn't watch Karl Malone play or Sean Kemp play.
Sean Kemp, mid 90s, 93 to
Early
like
mid
90s,
90s,
97.
from like 91 to like 97.
Man, Rain Man, like that's like
I had the Sean Kemp shoe.
he did have a shoe, didn't
The
he?
kaleidoscope looking thing,
Yeah.
the Reebok joint.
Is that Reebok? Yeah, he was a Reebok. Okay.
Because that's when Reebok had Shaq, AI. They had Shaq, AI, and Sean Kemp.
Shaq was moving all over the place though. He had his own
No, so Shaq
little brand before.
Actually,
and then,
Reebok blew up off D Brown, if you remember, with the pumps.
with the pumps, yeah,
right.
yeah, of course.
And then
yeah.
Sean Kemp
Had
was the
pump.
next one. But Sean Kemp and Shaq was the same time because if you remember, Shaq had the logo where it's like he was dunking, breaking the backboard.
Yeah.
And so like they had them, and then AI is what took it, into the 2000s.
Yeah.
And then after a while, like nobody cared about Reebok anymore. But
Yeah.
the AIs still go hard. The Shaqs, the old ones still go hard. The Sean Kemp still go hard. But to your point though, like LeBron is like a Magic 2.0 or Scotty 2.0 or
Right.
like I said, if you took Sean Kemp, Magic, and Scotty and just made one player, that would be LeBron.
Yeah. And so I guess we were both kind of on the same boat. Like I wouldn't categorize myself as a hater. I just don't think he's the GOAT. Like,
So this is how
I
y'all
don't.
know he was a real deal. I remember we was at you were staying in the Meadows, right?
Yep, the Meadows.
Meadow
Yeah.
Birch Lane.
Yep.
And many memories in Meadow Birch.
Yes.
Because you saved my life in Meadow Birch. Another story for another day.
Yep, we'll get to that.
But we watched The Decision.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And we actually watched both
And Kay was in there too.
yeah.
Keenan. Yeah.
And we watched both of the national championship games when Butler lost both times.
Yep.
Was it to Duke one time and I think it was UConn the other time?
It was Duke both times, wasn't it?
No, they lost to Duke. Duke was when he missed the game. When
Okay, that was okay.
I think the other one was when Kimba was.
It was somebody
Kimba?
else. Was it Michigan State? It was
Michigan State that won. Michigan State won early. But anyway,
Yep.
a lot of memories in Meadow Birch Lane.
Yeah, for sure.
But we watched The Decision because we were in debates about where he was going to go.
Yeah.
You actually were the one that said he was going to Miami.
Yeah.
I wanted him, if you remember, to go. I wanted the three of them to go to Chicago.
Yeah.
Because we had D-Rose and
D-Rose.
Joe Kim, and I was like, Chicago has the cap room.
That would have been dope.
I was like, so we have Joe Kim at the center, Derrick Rose at the point,
Luau.
D-Wade at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Bosh at the 4. You got Luau on the bench. Jimmy Butler would have been on the bench.
Yeah.
Like, we had
Yeah.
a squad. We would have had a squad. I was like, please go.
That would have been a wrap. That would have been
The Bulls would have had another, at least 3.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have lost to Dallas with that squad.
Oh, no.
But we watched The Decision.
Yeah.
And I wasn't off of LeBron then.
Uh-huh.
I was still on the bench. I personally, what got me off of LeBron was the loss versus Dallas. And then when they lost in 14 to San Antonio.
Yeah. When they got smashed, I think they lost 4-1. I think it was a gentleman's sweep.
5 games?
It was 5. They won one. They won one.
And it's like, and they got the meme now where it's like LeBron sees Kawhi checking in and he's
like, out. Yeah.
And it's like, but that first game when he did the little cramping antics, and he's having and he's the only one.
Right.
Nobody else on either team is like cramping, and LeBron is like, and I knew then, yeah, he doesn't want to be.
It was different. Like I said, I want to give shout out to all the LeBron lovers out there. Y'all know who you are. The ones that are close to me that are in my group chat and stuff that y'all.
I know two in particular.
Yeah,
I ain't
you
gonna
do.
say their names, but I
you
know
do.
both.
You know, and I give y'all love. And I said on one of these podcasts I was gonna give LeBron some love. And so LeBron he's in my top 5 all time. He's in my top 5 all time. But
he's in my top 10.
He's in your top 10. See, that's fair. That's good. See, I would, but
and that's no shade against him.
It's no shade. I don't think.
But I
there's
just
any shade.
say when you look at if you want to go from the championship aspect, like Bird, he's right there with Bird with 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then I want to say he's got 4 MVPs. I think Bird's got 3.
Yep, he does. Yep.
But Bird was like back to back. I don't know if LeBron was ever back to back.
I think Brown won a back to back.
And he may have been back to back, but Bird was back to back.
I gotta look at that.
Bird has 3 finals MVPs. LeBron has 3 MVPs. Like Magic with the 5. You know what I'm saying? You got Kareem with the 6. Now, the argument against Kareem is like, yeah, he's got 6, but he only got like, I think 1 finals MVP though.
The one with Milwaukee.
Right.
Maybe that's the only one.
That's what I'm saying, because Worthy got 1 with LA.
Yep.
Kareem might have got 1 with LA.
Possibly. I gotta look that. I don't think he did.
But the second one with LA, Magic got. That was the one where Magic played all 5 positions in the game. Magic got.
That was 80.
Then the next one, Worthy got.
Yeah. Yeah, Kareem may have gotten 2 maybe finals MVPs.
Right.
No more than that. No more
than 2.
No more than that.
Because I know Magic has at least 2.
Right. And
I know Worthy has 1.
Yeah, that's when he had that triple double, I think, in Game 7.
So, you can't argue with Mike, who has the 6. My argument against Bill Russell is that they talk about the 11, but let's just be for real. Let's pump our brakes.
It was only 17.
16 teams in the league.
Was that many?
16, that's it.
I thought it was like 8. I don't think it was that many.
It was 16.
Yeah.
I know you had it was the St. Louis Hawks before they were the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Philadelphia, Boston,
Kansas City,
the Minneapolis Lakers, right? Kansas City, Buffalo Braves.
Yeah,
and like I said, it might have been close, but it wasn't a whole lot of teams.
I don't think it was more than 10.
So even in the 82 game season, you were just playing the same teams over and over again.
Right.
Also, you got to keep in mind he played with over the course of his career,
8 Hall of Famers.
8 of those guys made at least 8, and there may be more.
I can write out Casey Jones,
Sam Jones,
Kuzi, Havlicek,
Dave Cowens.
Man.
And then you also got to remember, he went on, but John Thompson played on that team.
John, he did play center.
Georgia. He won 2 championships with them.
He did. Yeah.
And there was a couple of, I know it was probably a couple of white guys that played with them.
Yeah.
That are Hall of Famers.
They were stacked, man. They were stacked. You can't, like I said, I give him his pride. I think he's a great winner because then he also won as a player coach. Right. I think later in the 60s or whatever within that. So he did his thing within that. But for me, like, honestly, I
don't put Russell up there because on an individual level.
He's not in your top 10?
Who, Russell?
Yeah.
No.
Why are he not in your top? Oh,
but again.
But you looking at more so like,
first of all, in the era you dominated, like, okay, yeah, he got a lot of rebounds and stuff like that, and you can't argue that. Block shots, yes, but as far as like just from an overall standpoint, like he had an overall team, like he had one job
for sure.
So like when you look at Wilt stats, it was like Wilt and Billy Cunningham, or whoever it was. I don't know. I might be
Hal Greer,
right? Like Wilt had one guy, You know what I'm saying? Wilt played with one Hall of Fame, and then like part of that guy's Hall of Fame was with another team.
Yeah.
So like Wilt had one guy, and when you look at Wilt averaging 50 points a game, like you talk about dominating, it's easy for me to average, and all I have to do is rebound and block shots, and get tip ins and put back. Now I'm not taking it. He's a legit Hall of Famer, a legit great. But I wouldn't even put him in my top 5 bigs of all time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I can't argue with you on that. I can't.
Like Hakeem automatic, Kareem automatic, Shaq automatic. So that's however you want to rank them. That's the top 3 automatic. But would you put Bill Russell over Moses Malone?
I wouldn't.
Would you put him over David Robinson? Would you put him over?
No, skill wise.
And again, think about it. David Robinson played with nobody in San Antonio until Duncan got there.
Yep.
And they were playoffs every year. The one time they didn't, he got hurt, and that's how they got Duncan.
Yep.
But when he got drafted, every year they was in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. So
you know what I'm saying? Would you put him over? Like I legit feel like if Alonzo Mourning had played back in that time, he would have been Bill Russell. Yeah. Like my modern day comparison for Bill Russell would be Alonzo Mourning. Unparalleled defensively, blocking shots, rebounding, like undersized. He was about 6'10", but he had one of the highest block percentages in league history. Respected as a defensive player. But when you play him versus Shaq or Robinson, heck, even Brad Daugherty in his prime, like Lonzo.
Brad Daugherty is another one. A lot of people don't
slept on.
That boy was cold. Like the 90, I think it was the 93 Cavs team. That 93 Cavs team, you had Daugherty, Ron Harper, Mark Price, Hot Rod.
Craig Elo.
You know what I'm saying? Craig Elo. You know, he was cool for what he did. You know, that team was cold, man. And actually I put up I was just talking cash the other day, just, because the game was boring. You know what I'm saying? It was, I wasn't engaged with the game, so I'm just like, let me put something out there to get, see what people are gonna say. I was like, LeBron wins this, this would be
AD is gonna get the Finals MVP though.
He should. But
the story,
he should. That's all I can say. He should. But I mean, I don't know. They never gave LeBron, he only had 16 votes for MVP. So I can't say the media is kind of trying to give him something.
Only had 16?
No, LeBron.
So who got the most?
Greek Freak.
Oh, you talking about
the MVP?
I'm talking about for the Finals MVP.
Oh, the Finals MVP. Oh, yeah.
I'm saying AD should get it for the Finals MVP.
He should. but let's say this is a cakewalk series, right? Let's say LeBron come out next game. I think he had 25, 13, and 9 the first game. He had nearly triple.
Like 33. No, yeah, like it was like 33, 9, and 9 the second game.
See what I'm saying?
But then AD had 34, 14. To me, it's like AD stuff is more impactful. And then he shot like 65% from the field or something like that.
If that.
It's like
nearly
when
80%.
AD scores, it's like taking Miami heart out. And again, no shade against LeBron. LeBron is the GOAT of his generation.
For sure.
So you talk.
Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that?
I would say from 2000
he's the GOAT
to 2020.
This generation.
The best player between 2000 and 2020. And I'm talking about that whole 20-year span. Got to give it up to the king. Now, if you want to say between 2000 and 2010,
it's Kobe.
I would have to say Kobe.
You had to say Kobe.
But 2000 to 2020 is definitely and so again, he played versus Kobe, AI, Paul Pierce in his prime, got to play versus Boston in the East.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm just saying he's played versus Dwight when he was in Orlando.
Yeah, he did.
He's got to play versus him.
He lost. See, my thing too was was that 2009? Yeah, because that's when Dwight and them went to the finals and hit the Lakers. That year supposed to have been Bron and Kobe in the finals. Because LeBron and them, they won.
They had the Nike commercial with the puppet LeBron and the puppet Kobe.
Yeah, they won 66 games that year. The Cavs, 66 and 16 was their record. So they lost in the conference finals to Dwight and them. I think it was 4-2. I think it was 4-2. And so to me, like, that wasn't an excuse. Like, but he didn't play with anybody.
In 2010, they lost to Boston.
Yeah, that's when he walked off the floor took his jersey off.
Sedated.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah,
he had to be sedated.
He's like I said, man. This is give LeBron a prop. LeBron, to me, he's top 5. He's top 10. You know.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. You already know.
But he's in your top 10.
Yeah, definitely without question. It's not even a thought.
Low top 10?
Okay, so I have him, I just put it like this, in no particular order. I have Jordan in my top 5.
For sure.
I have, and I got to go old school. I got the Big O in my top 5.
Okay.
I have Kareem in my top 5. Magic is in my top 5.
Magic, okay. You got one more.
And this is where it gets tricky because it can go a lot of different ways. I got Bird in my top 5. But then my number 6 though, I got Dr. J.
You got him? Okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay. Okay.
Because you got to think about it now. Okay. Dr. J won MVP in the NBA. Like he had already played like 10 years maybe.
In the ABA, yeah.
Came in.
He was killing.
Got MVP in the NBA.
Yeah.
Won a championship. Was in the finals a couple times.
Yeah.
After he had already played a decade.
Yeah.
Okay. I got Wilt in my top 10. I got Hakeem in my top 10. I got Kobe in my top 10. So, however you want to order that,
right?
LeBron is in that.
He in that category, yeah.
But again, I have to say, because you talk about like he made it to so many finals. But you lost though.
Yeah, 6.
You know what I'm saying? And so like let's just be realistic. Like, so when they made it to the finals in 2007, his only competition was Detroit. Right?
Yeah, that wasn't even the same Detroit team.
Right, and that wasn't the same that
yeah,
wasn't right.
Wasn't
so
the same
they
Detroit
was
team.
Injuries, they were older.
Yeah.
Like who was in that? Like Chicago. Matter of fact, I think we lost to Washington. When GA hit the game winning, you know, he hit that game winner in one of those games. But and then Cleveland beat Washington. Because that was the one where LeBron told Gilbert Arenas, like, if you miss this, you know who winning.
That was the first round, right?
No, it was the second round. Because I forget who Cleveland played first round, but Cleveland and Washington played the second round. Okay. And that was when Washington had Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jameson, and Caron Butler.
Okay.
But, so, again, And I'm not knocking the path. Like, it is what it is.
Right.
But you play Detroit. And this was before Boston got their big three.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't think Boston even made the playoffs then.
And what, in 07?
Yeah, I don't think they made the playoffs.
I think that was the year before they got the big three.
Right,
before they got KG.
KG. Right.
Okay.
So I don't think they were playoffs then. So I know for sure it was Chicago, because we had Ben Gordon and Kirk Heinrich and those guys, that crew. But Washington had GA and Antoine and Karan. Of course, Cleveland was there. Detroit was there. I think Orlando may have been there.
Yeah,
Miami
I
was
get
there.
that year. Cleveland and them, they were 50-32.
Mm-hmm.
First round, they beat the Wizards.
Okay, you were right.
Second round, they beat the Nets.
Mm.
Who were on the Nets? The Nets. Then
Vince Carter, though.
Vince and Kidd and
Vince and Kidd was there. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So was that? Let me see who was on that Nets team. But that was, yeah, like I said.
Again, not a hard path.
No, it was good for what it was because they got on the hot street and he did that whatever with Detroit 29 straight points or whatever it was, 26 straight points, and
King-like performance.
Oh, for sure.
So
I was, like I said, I was riding LeBron. I was, I was riding him then.
No wrong.
I was riding him.
My only knock against him at that point was I was like, if he ever gets a consistent jump shot,
yep,
you won't be able to do anything with him.
Yep. And that Nets team had VC, like you said, Jason Kidd, Richard Jefferson,
right,
and a bunch of had an old 40-year-old Clifford Robertson.
Rest in peace, Uncle Clifford.
Yeah. Rest in peace. That's about it. That's the only names that I pretty much recognize. I had Josh Boone. You remember Josh Boone, UConn?
Oh yeah, played for UConn.
I think he was a rookie
Kenyon Martin
then.
was with the Nuggets then, wasn't it?
Yep. I think he was gone by then. And so, yeah, it wasn't. But to me, I don't even count on 7 for LeBron just because.
No, I mean, like, you're not gonna beat.
Yeah, he was.
You look at that San Antonio team with Duncan.
It was a wrap.
Freaking Tony Parker, Ginobili. Was Steven Jackson on that team?
Steven Jackson. Was he there in 07? I know he won.
No.
He won one with them.
He was there in 03 when they won.
That might have been it. Yeah, because he was Golden State by then.
He talked about playing with Steve
Kerr. That's right.
So it would have had to been 03. And he talked about how his relationship with Steve Kerr then.
Okay.
But Bruce Bowen, 3-and-D guy.
Bruce.
What's the other backup center or maybe started center, Splitter?
Yeah. Tiago.
Yeah, like they had guys, man.
Yeah, they did.
Fit their system.
They did.
And so, like, I didn't expect them to win it. Yeah. And I wasn't mad at them. Like, you got them there. So, like, I don't charge 07.
I was still on LeBron's jock during that period.
08, going into the 08 finals, like, nobody was beating Boston in the East.
No, that was a wrap.
I don't hold that against them because you got prime Ray, prime KG, prime. Granted, they were all at the end of their primes, but you knew.
And they lost in 7 games, too. That year, that thing it was in the semifinals.
I mean, but think about this though. They had James Posey on their team. They had young Tony Allen on their team.
Young Tony.
Leon Poe on their team.
Big Baby.
Dude, Rondo.
Eddie House.
Like Eddie House. I want to say I don't know if Avery Bradley was there or not. I think Avery Bradley might have came to next year.
Yeah, because he drafted. I think he got drafted by the Celtics, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he was on that championship team, but he was with them when they were, fighting Boston.
Hold on, Shannon Brown was on that team.
Was he? No, he was on Cleveland.
Hold on, which one am I looking at? Yep, you're right. It was Cleveland. I'm tripping. Yeah, it was on Cleveland squad. Yeah, Shannon Brown was on that Cleveland squad with Boobie. Boobie was killing his first couple of years in the league, though. He was really killing.
He went to work every day.
He was straight. He did his thing.
In every day.
And your boy Gooden.
Oh yeah, no, I mess with Gooden.
Drew Gooden.
He made up a word. It's Googleable. So when somebody says it's Googleable, that actually came from Drew Gooden.
Yeah, like Gooden cool with me, but that's the thing. Like LeBron, LeBron did his thing. Like for me, when I started to for the GOAT conversation, this is strictly for the GOAT conversation, not just with him, period, but just the GOAT conversation. I started to get off the ledge when in 2011, when he was, in the fourth quarter, I think he averaged maybe 4 points a game in the fourth, going against Dallas, and he was being guarded by JJ Barrera and Jason Terry. Now, JJ Barrera may be, we may be seeing eye to eye. We may see eye to eye. I don't know. He may be like
5'8".
Yeah, we may be seeing, eye to eye. And Jason Terry ain't much taller. Jason Terry may be 6 feet, 6'1".
Now I don't want to say, look like my dad. Look like he's 6'2".
Okay, I'll give him that.
But LeBron is like 6'9".
Yeah. And he was being contained by these dudes. Like to me, at this point in time, he's 7-8 years in the league. He's clearly the best player in the league in 2011.
Yeah, 8 years in the league.
Yeah.
He's almost 10 years in the league.
He's the best player in the league, okay?
Clearly.
You got to the finals with your big three, and then now you're, you know what I'm saying? You fumble like that. Like, to me, I didn't even say, I was like, okay, he's still great. I still ride with him, but he can't be the GOAT anymore. Just because how he folded in this moment. Okay, then he came back. He beat a OKC team the next year in 2012 in a shortened season. They got hot at the right time when they beat San Antonio, but they had no shot against Miami in that series, in that finals. No shot. You know what I'm saying?
They were babies, man.
They were babies. And so that was easy. That was easy money. I think they won one game in that series. Okay,
it was a bad game. Yeah.
Okay, I think they won one game. And so so that, and then 2013, I give them credit because they beat San Antonio, which they probably should have lost that in 6, but your boy came to the rescue.
Oh, yeah, Shuttlesworth came through.
Shuttlesworth came through with Bosh getting the rebound and doing all that. Then LeBron killed in the 7th game. Right. Again, he killed in the 7th game.
Mike Miller, too, though.
Mike did his thing.
Mike Miller, when he made all them threes.
Then he had one with no shoes on. He had barefoot.
Yeah.
Had his shoes off.
But again, what got me off, though, to your point about getting off. So I have forgiven the 2 that he won. Is like, okay, you know what? I'm going to let the 2011 slide. But I remember that press conference. I remember we watched the decision. Not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6.
And see,
the game 1 cramping game. And so just to give some context, I don't like San Antonio. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm knowing, keep this in mind, they beat OKC in the Western Conference Final. Tony Parker, I think it was his ankle. He had an injury. Mm-hmm. He got hurt in game 6. Mm-hmm. So he wasn't even guaranteed to play. Like, he's questionable. Mm-hmm. So they got a hobbled Tony Parker.
Yep.
Go back and look up the ages. Tim Duncan was 38.
Mm-hmm. Now, we're talking about 2014, 2013?
When San Antonio won, when Kawhi got
14. 14.
Tim Duncan was, and people talk about, they had Tim. Tim Duncan was 38, which in basketball, it's almost like dog years. So really, he was like 92 in basketball years.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, Tim came in when you could still get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
So like his first 6 years in the league, like he was getting beat up, guarding Shaq.
Yeah.
Guarding Ewing, guarding Olajuwon, guarding Rasheed, guarding Ben Wallace. Like you're going Mourning, Mutombo. Mm-hmm. You going against guys that like is forearm. Oakley was still in the league, like taking a pounding every night.
Oh yeah.
Jermaine O'Neal. Like we can keep going.
Yeah.
38. Ginobili, because he had played those years in Argentina, was 37. Mm-hmm. Like we forget that. It's like, they had Tony Parker and Ginobili and Tim Duncan and Kawhi. Okay, Kawhi had just I want to say the year before was the one who missed the free throws that allowed Miami to, like he wasn't. I think he averaged 13 points a game that year. Like he wasn't the guy. Mm-hmm. He was still coming in his own. Mm-hmm. So basically, you got a 92-year-old Tim Duncan. You got an 85-year-old Ginobili.
Yeah.
Tony Parker on an injury.
Yeah.
The dude that crushed Miami, and I don't know if you remember because we was watching it at your crib. Mm-hmm. Overweight, Smokey the Bear, Boris Diaw.
Yogi Bear.
And we're looking at him like watching like this looks like somebody dad out there.
The
Or your
YMCA.
uncle, you know what I'm saying? Let me throw me that young blood. And he is doing everybody.
He getting it. He was getting it.
And it didn't matter who you put on Boris Diaw, and he's working it. And you could clearly see this is not the Phoenix Boris Diaw.
Yeah.
When Phoenix was on their run and they looked like when D'Antoni was coaching, this is like gut Boris Diaw running on his tiptoes, giving it work.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. Like I said, props to LeBron, man. Like my top 5, he's at the tail end of my top 5. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. Like
I know you don't put him over Jordan.
Of course not. I put Magic is in my top 5.
You got him over Kobe.
Who?
LeBron.
That's
and you know I'm not a Laker fan.
I know.
I can't stand the
That's
Lakers.
the argument for me. Like honestly, like I'm already forecasting that he wins his 4th title. Okay, I'm forecasting that. So in that,
unless Michael Jordan's son come up with a miracle.
I know.
Oh, by the way, I'm calling it. So when that documentary come out called The Last Son, and everybody finds out that Jimmy Butler is Michael Jordan's son, and do your research on Jimmy Butler and all of that. I got the pictures to prove it. But just look at Jimmy Butler with a low haircut and Michael Jordan. Like, Google it.
Yeah.
Like, they look just alike. Like, if you look at them side by side and just his swagger and the mentality, like, he took the bench and, like, beat the starters. Like, is that not a Jordan move? Yeah. Like, in the press conference, we ain't scared of nobody. Is that not a Jordan move? Like, people can't handle the way he is in practice. So, when The Last Son documentary comes out and it's like, oh, snap. Jimmy Butler really is Michael Jordan's son. Just remember that the Prez told you here first.
They look alike, though. They do, though.
And their swag is like the same.
They do look alike. Like this guy, Sane. He's a sports radio host locally here. He's already he been saying that for a minute.
I didn't know that. I just remember y'all was going on it on Twitter.
Oh yeah. We do be going back and forth on Twitter. Me and Sane. Like it's all good. I mean, it's all good on my end. Like I think he's It's all good, fun and games. He's a Jaren Jackson guy, and I've had my, certain things to say about that.
Did he get drafted the same year Michael Porter Jr. did?
He did.
I think we should have drafted Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
And I said that, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's back," but like, you don't need him to play right away.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's not gonna make us into a playoff team.
Yeah, that was a tough time for me. I can't necessarily say that.
Michael Porter Jr. would have came here and loved Memphis. He light skinned too. You know how these Memphis women are. Like, it's been over with. He tall and light skinned. Come on.
See, but we just came off the Chandler Parsons deal with the knee, and so
that's different.
So I don't think we would have just jumped right in to a young cat
Chandler
with a back.
Parsons was just a shooter. Like Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I mean, he was a little bit more like the Chandler Parsons that was in Houston, that was with Harden. Like, he was legit. I think he was maybe 17, 6, and 4. You know what I'm saying? He was, but
this how you know you're not legit. You don't lose your jump shot.
You shouldn't.
But he lost it.
Oh yeah, he lost it.
Still hasn't. I don't know what he's doing.
He lost everything. I
mean, I ain't gonna lie. He's
a
legit. Hey, he can beat me in 21.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if you want to pick up a pen and go versus me, that's different. But, like, 21, he got me.
Yeah. He just, my thing was the front office at that time with the Grizz was
horrible.
Was horrible is a good word, but I can't think of anything worse right now. So that I'd take that. But it's
not as bad as Chicago's, but
Dallas, knowingly, they never offered him a contract. Because they, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get the medicals. I'm like, did y'all not see the medicals on this dude's knee? But we still gave him 95, 96 million.
I think the
like,
injury
that's crazy.
Like, perfect example, like Gilbert Arenas. Mm-hmm. Gilbert Arenas, what a lot of people didn't realize, his game was predicated on quickness and speed.
Yeah.
And so he had 3 knee surgeries in 18 months, and this is not the knee surgeries now where they do laser. They cut him open. Mm-hmm. Probably not coming back from that one.
Was this in, when was this? Was this in, was it Washington?
Washington and even before Orlando and
Okay.
becoming here. But so it's like he fell out. No, he didn't fall off. Like his game was predicated on quickness and speed. So now when you take away that, and you could see him in the big three, he didn't lose his shot.
Yeah.
He can still shoot.
Yeah.
But his game, but if you can stay in front of him now, whereas before, skill, quickness, and speed. And so, and then his thing is he's not a spot up guy. He creates off the dribble. So now
he needs the ball in his hands to create.
So if you make him a spot up guy, that's not his game. So essentially, because of his injury, he had to become a spot up guy. That's not his game.
Yeah.
And so now he can still handle the rock. He can still shoot, but that quickness and speed is not there. So now you got guys who not defenders that can guard him.
Yeah.
You like James Harden D'ing you up like, and again, like James, I think would be a great, defender. I just think like what Big Worm tells Smokey, you're not applying yourself, Smokey.
Yeah, I think he's not as bad, I think, as people want to claim he is. Like he's trash. But because my thing is, I played fantasy basketball, maybe the other season, last couple of seasons I know I have. And Harden, he'll get you some blocks and some steals.
Oh yeah, no, him and Westbrook is like the king of fantasy.
But it's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, okay, I'm gonna take him 1-on-1. I'll D him up. I'll take his ball. He's good with help defending, and deflections and stuff like that. So Harden is okay with that. But
I think my issue with a lot of the guys now, it's inefficient offense, and this is what I mean. People look at efficiency like analytics, percentages, and all of that. I say inefficient because you can shoot 50% for a game, right? But in the fourth quarter, if you were just going off of that, last 5 minutes of the fourth, like we were talking about with LeBron, you only shot 20%. That's because all your high percentage was in early quarters. But the problem is it takes a lot to get you that basket. Right. And again, I mean, people say I'm a hater, but like you look at for example, Shaq. Shaq didn't do a lot. Pass me the ball, like 1-2 dribbles, turn around, bam.
Oh yeah, because you're massive. He's massive, yeah.
You look at Jordan, same thing. Catch it, older Jordan, post, shimmy, fade away, Elijah Wan, dream shake, shot, efficient. And I mean energy efficient.
Right.
Look at a lot of these guys. I would say if I was just watching 21 or 1-on-1, I would pick Kyrie hands down. But like with a team, he does a whole lot to do nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm saying for as good as he is, you don't have to dribble for 9 seconds to get your move off.
Yeah.
Kyrie is good enough to where he could do wop, and he's scoring.
Yeah.
And so like when you look at an AI, when you look at a Tim Hardaway, killer crossover, the AI crossover, it was whap, basket. Like Kobe in his prime. Whap. Like in Kobe's thing, like he got interviews where he said you do 1 or 2 moves and you get your bucket. Kyrie does 8. So you got your guy on skates and that looks good, but then like when you're needed or when the game is tight, now you've depleted all of your energy. And so a lot of those guys, and so that's why James Harden in the playoffs is not efficient, especially later in the game, because all season you're doing all this. So now when somebody gets to play you every night, we ain't got to worry about nobody else. We can plan for you. You're doing all that dribbling. You're not going anywhere.
Yep.
So yeah, you're gonna get yours. You're gonna, because we can't really guard you, but you're gonna dribble yourself out. And so now when the game gets tight, the fans cheering, the pressure gets tight, you got the best defender on you, your energy been expended. Now you don't have it. Legs gone. Because instead of wop basket, you're wop, like you're dancing and doing all of this stuff, and we like, oh, but then later in the game.
Right.
And so that's why it's inefficient.
Yeah.
Not because it's like when you're looking at, and then you look at the stats, like, oh, well, he shot 50%.
Right.
But when it mattered.
It's the same, yep. Now the question is, well, that I want to know at least your opinion on if, let's say if if it is possible for LeBron to eclipse MJ, what would he have to do in order for that to happen? I know my answer. I want to know kind of what you think, or you just think it's not possible.
I mean, at this point now, it runs into a thing because his career has already been longer than Jordan's.
For sure.
So now, if you're just going based on the longevity and the proximity of it, yeah, of course he's going to score more points, get more assists, more rebounds. But to me, a lot of it is stat chasing.
Yeah.
So what I mean is like, because when
that's all he has now.
You got to keep in mind, like, it was times like the whole fourth quarter almost he didn't even play. Because it's like, if we didn't put you to bed, it's no reason for me to. But then when you look over the course of his career, how many times MJ played 80, 82 games?
A lot.
LeBron didn't start doing that till recently, and it was only because you got Kawhi load managing and all these other people load managing. I just think at this point, LeBron just needs to be the best LeBron.
Yeah.
And to me, I think if he had been trying to do that, it was a chance that he could have eclipsed Jordan.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're doing all this stat chase, so you got these numbers, but you're losing. And then when you look at the eye test, because I can close my eyes and you can tell me the numbers, like, oh man, he was killing. But I'm watching the game. That's how you're getting your points.
That's what I'm saying. My thing is
you're getting your points.
But LeBron
is guarding you when you're getting your points.
Yeah. But LeBron's smart too. He knows the agenda. He's competitive, so he knows the only way he can eclipse Jordan at this moment is to get all these records.
Right, got to be numbers.
To get all these stats. Now,
he flops way more than Jordan though. So that's
that's not
even when he makes a basket. Like, dude, why are you flopping? Like, nobody's.
Yeah,
unless you're going against a center, like you're flopping on Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I don't want to get into that because that's a whole nother thing. But I think if he wins 6 or 7 titles,
but he would have to get the MVP in all of them.
Yes, and he would need to beat the top teams of those years, not just if somebody else beats this other team that's top. Let's like the Clippers. To me, I think if the Clippers get past the Nuggets, they beat the Lakers just because they match up well with them. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, you win 6 or 7 rings, and you play those teams, those top teams in that year or that era, then you may be in the conversation. You know?
Yeah, I don't think.
But
to me, the 2 times that he played the top team, one was when he won in Cleveland.
Yeah.
To be honest, I feel like they should have beat San Antonio. On paper, they were losing to San Antonio, and San Antonio's age showed. And they said it when Ray Allen hit that shot that took the air out of us. Yeah. We didn't have nothing. We gave everything we had, and when he hit that shot, it just deflated. Now, keep in mind, they acknowledged they were old in 2013.
Right.
In 2014, they didn't get younger.
Yeah.
They didn't found the youth. I saw, and if you remember, we was at your apartment when he started doing that cramping. I said, "Oh man, it's over with. Miami for the lose."
Oh, it was a wrap.
And then you was like, "Nah, man," like, cause and like. I was like, you remember, my cuz, our boy, oh man, you hate on LeBron, man. It's all about Miami. Then he was a Cleveland fan, now he's a Lakers fan, but that's another story. I still love you.
I hope y'all hear that.
But he know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So if he watches, he know what I'm talking about.
I hope y'all hear that.
But you didn't give up though.
Yeah.
You were still on, but in my mind, when I saw that cramping and him looking like he was hyperventilating, I'm like, oh yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
But they should have beat that team. They didn't. The only time he legit played the top team.
Yeah.
Because really, even when they played San Antonio the second time, OKC was the top team. Mm-hmm. If you think about it. Like, San Antonio came back and beat them when San Antonio won the finals in 2014. Mm-hmm. So really, OKC was the top team. Like, that was like, oh, OKC finna be back. It's finna be. Yeah. And then, really, the Clippers were a top team with Chris Paul, DeAndre Blake, Matt Barnes, JJ Redick, Jamal Crawford. Like, the Clippers really were that team that should have been playing in the finals.
That's when they lost to Houston.
And I even take it back another